Hey, my name is Catherine Roberts. I did my research on preventing litigation after an accident occurs or happens at schools. And I wanted to summarize some of my findings for you and what's most important. When preventing litigation or lawsuits from occurring in schools, it should be part of everyday routines and procedures that take place. Proper precautions have to be in place so that human resources administrators don't find themselves scrambling around and trying to defend their actions in court. From our text, Rabor discusses how we must have a strong understanding of contract management and litigation because of our societal demands. Society today is driven by legal rights responsibilities. They play a huge role in everyday life. So we have to be prepared for these accidents or things that could possibly happen. Accidents do occur daily in schools, but too often school officials believe that they operate and manage a safe, good school environment with kind of the attitude that it can't happen here, it's not going to. The reality is, if it can happen, then it may happen. We must remember that no school system is immune to accidents and litigation. The important factor that influences this is the steps that school officials take to avoid and to prepare effectively for the unexpected. School officials must alert, inform, train, and prepare their staff for the world in which they work. Some common places where litigation occurs within schools, playgrounds definitely are, a perfect common place for accidents to happen. So a lot of litigation does follow up from things and precautionary steps that were not followed or having the proper amount of supervision on playgrounds. Field trips, same thing with supervision, but this is another area that we have to be prepared for. The actual carrying out and following through with school student handbook procedures. We get in a routine and we have these procedures set in place and we have these handbooks, but we don't follow them. We get too comfortable with what we're doing and allow everybody to kind of step off and be slack, so to say. And then this is when accidents happen. When these are precautionary steps that you have in place that you have to revisit and keep making sure are happening. And then fighting among students. Fights take place and interactions happen among different students. So this is a place where we need to have steps and things in order to help prevent lawsuits from occurring. The bottom line is outcomes of accidents must be planned for appropriately, because if that incident was well supervised and preventative steps were in place, then litigation is going to be very hard for a party to pursue. School officials must also keep in mind that basic local, state, and federal rules, regulations, guidelines have to be adhered to each and every single day. Administrators must take time and effort to educate their staff about the laws, the effects of the laws, and how proper precautions can protect them and the students. Education, I think, here is one of the key things. If your staff is educated and have practiced and have all these things in place, and you followed through with what you're supposed to do, then litigation will be hard for others to pursue. Accidents, of course, they will happen and are unpreventable at times, but if proper steps have been followed in their place, then litigation can be prevented. So when thinking about preventing litigation overall, the main thing to me is making sure that your staff is educated, that you have done the proper pre-planning, that you've thought through the scenarios, that you have practiced as a staff, that you are also following through with it, following up, checking to make sure that people are following these handbook procedures, that there are the correct amounts of supervision when needed on field trips or on the playground, and that the proper steps are being followed through with each and every day. Don't assume and grow the attitude that I have a great school, nothing's going to happen, everything is perfectly fine, because accidents will happen. Okay, thank you.